Gabba Gabba, hey Drunken Cock fans, this is Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming from the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, and we're here to announce that you have found and stumbled upon our show. We're very happy to have you. If you found this on podcast platforms, you will be sorely disappointed in the magic entertainment. However, the video will be uploaded to YouTube and Facebook. Remember, this show is an adult show, contains adult content. Have fun, stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I am, of course, Hickory the Drunken Underwhelming. Welcome back to the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. And holy shit, people, we have made it to the new studio. I am no longer homeless. It's just kind of a bummer because Hickory the Homeless and Underwhelming was a great name as well. But I've had enough of malt liquor, and I am ready to move back into my humble abode, which we are now at the studio. But this show isn't all about me. It's about two other funny men because it's just us hosts because our guest dropped out. Let's get to it. Welcome back. We are on the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. It's episode 17, featuring just us hosts. The Woolen Mill Comedy Club proudly presents the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Tonight, of course, I am here at GW. We're waiting on Collen to show up, but he will be here, as promised. He said he'd be right on. We got a lot to get into. We're going to talk about on and how Screw Your Freedom doesn't quite have the same ring as Get to the Chopper. We're going to talk about the FDA finally approving the COOF vaccine. We're going to talk about healthcare incentives. We're going to talk about a WCAX report. And finally, we're going to talk about pardoning the witches because, that's important or not, depending on which side of the aisle you sit on, because I guess witches are partisan. I don't know what's going on. It's America in 2021. Who knows what side I'm supposed to fall on? But without further ado, welcoming to our spotlight stage a man that I love and adore, my friend, my comrade. Please welcome Mr. G.W. Foley.
Hey, don't mind me. I'm just making myself a drinky drink because it's Wednesday night, motherfuckers. 8 o'clock, 8:03 to be exact. And I'm on vacation. Yeah, fuck yeah. Last week was margarita night, and it was done horribly. I had 3 drinks and decided that I had heartburn, which at my size and age, heartburn can be scary because that could also be a sign of a heart attack. Like I sat there going, am I dying or is this just heartburn? Like, let me take some Tums, figure out what's going on, and just to be sure. And luckily it was heartburn. My arm didn't start tingling, which is good. I did jerk off too much the other day, and then my arm got sore. And I'm like, oh my God, is this a sign of a heart attack? Because I just did some strenuous activity. But no, it got better. So I have that going for me. So speaking of living a sedentary lifestyle, good friend of the show, Kevin McTaggart, and his new show, What's Pissing You Off Wednesday, asked for contributors. And the other week I hurt my neck by standing still and turning slightly, and my neck pooped up. And he's like, what's pissing you off? And so I told him. And then he started to berate me completely. And it's just like, fuck you, dude. I do more things than just sit around the house and let my dog out. I have to walk to get a cigarette. Like there's a good 20 feet from my car to my apartment. Like that's some distance, man. And it's not. It's like, hey, like I wash. No, I don't. I don't wash dishes. I go grocery shopping. Like that's something I do where I'm walking around the store getting my 10,000 steps in, and then I have to like weight lift my bags from my car to the apartment. That's some heavy shit. Do you know how much food it takes to fucking lift, like to keep this going? Like this isn't like one of those Ethiopian kids where you can just feed a paste tube. Like this is like sandwich meats. This is like ice cream. This is a lot of cost pasta. So you gotta get the carbs in there. Tried applying for some jobs. I have a feeling that I haven't gotten them. Which I wish, if you make the effort to apply to a job and they give you an interview, they should at least give you the common courtesy to say, "I'm sorry, we're going in another direction." Instead of like, "Well, I guess I'm not getting something." Like here's the thing with this. Like, what if I'm really holding out and got an offer for another job? Like, but I wanted this job and they haven't said anything yet. And this one sucks and it's flipping burgers. Like do I take the job that's really shitty or wait for the other one? Because maybe there's a lot of people out there that want that job. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. It's fucking muggy out, man.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I'm sitting here under the lights, drinking my redheaded slut, and I'm just sweating like a fucking stuffed pig. Like I just feel disgusting, and that's coming a lot for me. Like I've worn the same shorts for 4 days in a row. Like I haven't showered in 3 days, and now I feel disgusting because I'm sweating. It's not the other things. It's just because I'm sweating. But yeah, that's kind of it for me right now. Let's turn it over to Collen and see how he's doing, man.
Good evening. Good evening. Happy Wednesday night, everyone. Great to be on the program as always. Had a nice week. Went down and saw Dead and Company, my first ever Grateful Dead show. Which, it's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? These are my people. It was really great. Saw it at City Field in Queens. Probably, I don't know, maybe 40, 50,000 people. Most people I've seen in a couple years. So that was nice. Shortly after, New York was freaking out that we were going to get hit with a hurricane. Everybody was worried about Henry.
A little bit.
And what Henry was going to do. And I got to be honest, Henry was a really weird trajectory, wasn't it? It was like Henry's going to come up like this. He's going to hit New York. Then it's going to flank out to the right. It's going to hit all of Massachusetts. Then it might go north to Vermont. This was the most zigzagging fucking hurricane I've ever seen. Luckily, Henry made a couple lefts, a couple rights. Ended up being a tropical rainstorm. So that was good. It was hilarious, though, because New York thought they were going to get hit with a hurricane. But businesses, after this whole pandemic, you can just see how much people want to make money right now. like people just do not want to close no matter what. They're like, it's going to be sustained winds of 75 miles an hour and rain. And people are like, so bring an umbrella. All right. We're going to be open. All right. We're going to be open. We're going to be, do happy hour. You bring an umbrella. I'm like, it's a hurricane. I don't know if I'm going to be going out for calamari during a class 1 Cat 1 hurricane. I don't know.
If you're lucky, it'll be on your doorstep when you leave.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. It's right there. It's in my car. That's a squid. New York's a funny place. I was talking about recently that a gentleman I met many years ago. He is a very famous commercial actor. He was the Dell Dude, most notably the Dell Dude for many years. Dude, you're getting a Dell. And for people our age, we remember the Dell Dude. Like
Dude.
Dude, to get the Dell. And it was like a huge commercial, you know. And I was thinking about, you know, on the long list of strange and bizarre things that have happened to me in my life. I was moving into a building downtown, and there were people asking me, you know, different people who are on the board and the condo association and different things, all these different questions. This one man comes up to me and he goes, "So what exactly do you do, Collen?" I said, "Oh, I'm an actor." He goes, "Really? Like what? What have I seen you in?" I said, "Oh, I'm in a commercial right now. That's on TV, maybe you've seen." And he goes, "Oh, commercials." He goes, my dog walker's Ben Curtis." And I'm like, "Who?" And he goes, he was Steven in the Dell commercials, right? Do any of us remember that character being called Steven?
Unfortunately, I do.
Like it was like a backstory that we all needed to know. Like, he's not just the Dell Dude, he's Steven. like the Verizon wireless guy. It was like, his name's Matt. We all knew that. We all knew it. So I get into the elevator like maybe a week or two later, and there's this guy walking a little dog, and he like looks at me and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're the Dell Dude. Oh, I see. It's always funny when you meet like famous people who are like commercial, like, because everyone knows, those who know my comedy and everything, commercials my shit, right? I love commercials. One time I was invited to this lunch thing in New York, and I ended up meeting this guy, this older gentleman, beautiful home, this back lawn area. And he starts asking me all these questions. What do you do? What do you believe in? You know, and all these different things. So I'm telling him, you know, what I believe in, what I think, and everything I say is kind of wrong. And he's just, you know, kind of like one thing, you know. At one point he said to me, "Do you believe in quantum science, quantum theory?" I said, "Well, I guess, you know, pretty much everyone have to believe in that." And he goes, "Explain it to me." I'm like, "You want me to explain quantum theory to you as we are sitting here having a sandwich?" "Okay, sure, why not? You know, this is normal table conversation." So afterwards, I kind of get up from this guy. Don't know what this guy does, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, like, is this guy, you know, was he a stockbroker? Was he a physicist? Like, what the hell was this guy, you know? So I meet the guy's wife, and she says to me, so what do you do, Mr. Doyle?" And I said, "I'm an actor." I said, "You know, I do commercial acting and stuff." She goes, "Commercial acting? Oh, well, my husband must love that." And I said, "I don't know. I talked to him, and he asked me about quantum theory." I don't know. She goes, well, you know that Brian was Brian's a commercial actor. I said, "But oh yeah?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "He's the Tricks Rabbit." Since 1952, this guy's had one role, the Tricks Rabbit. For those of you who don't know what the Tricks Rabbit sounds like, it's something to the effect of ooh, raspberry, red, ooh, lemon, yellow, orange, ooh. Silly Wabbits, Tricks are for kids. And this guy owns a garden in downtown Manhattan. Whole backyard. Quantum theory, you know, doesn't always pay. I want to start a new home construction show that's just called Paint It Black. Because that's what I do. For here, you guys want to see my accent wall here?
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just black. Everything paint it black. How you doing? You see my refrigerator over here? Can you see that? Paint it black. You know? That's the show. paint it black with Collen Doyle. I'll just come in and be like, hey, how you doing? I got this ugly ass furniture. It's a desk. Desk was ugly as shit. Painted it black. You know, I don't know. Might work, you know? I recently tried to watch the Terminator movies. Been trying to get through that. I started it. The one, for those of you who don't know, the dystopian hell that is the Terminator film. It takes place in the future, and the present, and the future. In the future, the world's totally fucked and being ran by machines and robots.
Yeah.
And the film takes place in 2029.
Getting there.
We're 8 years away. We're one high school and college term away from complete and utter. If you were going in right now to be a freshman in high school, by the time you leave college, the world is destroyed and being run by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, so don't try too hard, kids. For those of you watching, lower the bar, lower the standards. Don't try too hard. The world's on fire. Really, how important is algebra going to be when we're all burning alive? You know, you know, I could just figure out this obtuse angle. But that's been my week. Survived the Grateful Dead, survived Henry, and I'm here for it. So without further ado, I'm gonna kick it over to the reason we all get together every week for this show. The man, the myth, the legend, Hickory, the drunken underwhelming.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you. Welcome back. Just us hosts. Unfortunately, Sam could not be with us this evening. We will be rescheduling him in the future. Although the guests in the past 4 weeks dropping left and right. I don't know what's up, but I think they thought that I was a homeless guy hosting a show. And they heard the rumor and they were like, this guy's under a bridge drinking Mad Dog 4040, just trying to get me to come on a show. And being weird. And I was like, well, I'm homeless, but I'm living in a $500 a night apartment right now. So does that count? I don't know how the logistics of homeless and rich work, but I'm pretty sure if you spend a month in an apartment in Woodstock, you might be homeless, but you're swanky. You're swanky homeless. It's not like...
Well, de Blasio is probably your mayor.
The only mayor I will ever have, my friend. Other than... because the governor is Jesse. Jesse, if you're out there, cheers to you, sir. It was good to see you. Unfortunately, I might have said, I can't remember if I said last week on the show or not that I'd have magic prepared this week. But if I did, I was a bold-faced liar, and I'm drunk as shit. And I'm in this brand new house, brand new studio that's barely set up. I just got the professional lighting out, and it's.
Yay! I gotta say, on my end, it's looking very good.
Well, thank you. It definitely needs a lot of setup. There's another space to set up for the performance section of the show, but by the next couple of weeks, this should be awesome. I'm going to go through a couple comments real quick before I finish my little bit and we get into the main section. The beautiful assistant said, this is directed at GW. He said, don't you need to have a job to be on vacation? Oh. Shots fired.
Damn.
Oh, it's brutal.
Oh, that's fine. I see how it is.
Nick said, what's happening, guys? Beautiful assistant said, I wish they would just show up for an interview. That's an issue she's been having at work.
Hey, GW, if that was true, spring break wouldn't exist, right?
Exactly.
That's a very good point, Colin. Nick said, welcome home, Hickory. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm very, very glad to be in here. Jason said, most in Rutland don't work. This was during GW's set.
Oh, God damn.
He said, Jason also said, it's hotter than a hooker working in hell or Rutland. I guess it depends on what your perception is. Rutland could be hell. We got, what is everyone drinking? So let's do a quick round. I tonight am drinking Intangible Tides. That's a yeah. My lighting is a little too bright for this can, but
drinking a spritz with a little bit of herbs. A little bit of herbs and
herbs.
I am drinking Redheaded Sluts, which is
anything that GW drinks.
Yeah.
Oh, I like how it's kind of brick on the. He got a custom bottle specially made for this show that has his background integrated in the bottle.
That's the official GW bottle. And what's nice about GW drinking a redheaded slut is it makes him a redheaded slut.
That's right. The missus better look out because she's going to get some tonight, whether she likes it or not.
I was gonna say she's been over there waiting, just like, oh, he's on number 3. This is getting better.
Yeah, he's on vacation.
During Jason's set, he said Jake from State Farm, to which I responded in the comments and I said which one, because they changed Jake from State Farm, but he didn't respond. But he did say the best commercial was Collen surfing the crowd naked. I agree. And that video on my YouTube channel that I reacted to was one of the first reaction videos I realized reaction videos are a thing and they do well. He said, Jason says, I had this phase a long time ago. Silly rabbit, dicks are for chicks. He said, I'm wearing khakis and baller about my new apartment. Jason, thank you for being here. Sir, we do appreciate you. But yeah, the new pad, it's pretty dope. We've just got moving in. Obviously, Henry fucked up a whole lot of stuff. We planned on having a big old moving party on Sunday where we'd have friends over and we'd fill a couple coolers with beer and get some pizzas, and we'd all load a 26-foot box truck full of shit and bring it down to the new house and bring it all in and have pizza and beer. And then all of a sudden the meteorologists guys were like, yeah, it's going to be raining all day. Torrential from sunrise to sunset. We were like, fuck, we better cancel that U-Haul. That's like a couple $100 we could be saving and just do it next week. And so we woke up Sunday morning and it was beautiful sunshine at 7 a.m. and it stayed beautiful until 2 in the afternoon. So we got like 75% of our stuff moved. We are in the new house. The studio is being constructed right now. As you can see, lighting set up, but there's no background stuff set up. And I should have took a picture of the room, but it's a shit show right now, so you don't really want to see it. And it's kind of plain, it's like a little plain, little wood background, but that'll be changing. There'll be a second setup for live performance. So hopefully by next week, I'll be back to performing magic on the show on the regular, and we won't go back to not doing it. But that's pretty much all I got. We're going to move into the main segment of the show, unless any of you guys got to say before we go over.
No, I'm good.
Okay, it's the jarring part. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's good to be here. Just the 3 of us yet again. I got to break out the old overlay. Unfortunately, Sam Appleby could not be with us due to work. And if anybody out there knows the situation currently, it's that if you have a job, you're really fucking working. Because nobody else is. Unfortunately.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
If you were one of the privileged individuals out there that is working, you lucky fuck you.
Yes, or from the opposite perspective, if you're the guy that hasn't had a day off since February of 2019 and you're pretty upset about it, I feel for you, bro.
Shut up, you privileged fuck.
Yeah, you keep working your $16 an hour job and feeding the community.
Yeah, okay? I don't want to hear about it. But if you haven't worked for 18 months, good on you as well. I keep doing what you're doing. And
I'm jealous, and that's about it.
I'm jealous.
I hear that. First off, Colin, did you get the list for the topics just before we?
I did.
Okay, but he might now know what these are. So this will be a fun little dive.
It's gonna be a surprise.
There we go. Okay, that's a little too much. Sorry, still figuring out the space, and I'm not in an actual chair. To be straightforward with you, everybody in the audience, and you guys as well, I'm actually in a camping chair right now. Because I have it.
Great.
Thank you. I've been waiting to set this thing up since Christmas, but and this is only one of the 4 lights and the backgrounds and the whole photography setup we got. But without further ado, we're moving to first topic of the evening. God, it's good to be back in a home that isn't a hotel. I am so excited. Sorry, I'm a little gushy because it's really cool. But we're gonna move to the first topic of the evening. This is Screw Your Freedom. Doesn't have the same ring as Get to the Chopper. Yeah, that's right. We're going to be talking about Arnold. I don't know if you guys saw this. We're actually going to play a little clip of Arnold talking, but this is a Hill article talking about sponsors dropping Schwarzenegger over rant about anti-maskers. We're going to be a little bit of context here and actually play the clip of him saying this so you know what we're talking about and we're not just shooting from the hip. It might be a little long, but we'll just scoot it up a little because the important part is at the end. Oh, I got to turn it on.
Disturbed here. No, screw your freedom.
Now
because we took time and not just to
that was the clip right there. I went forward a little too far. Sorry, guys.
Corruption and all this kind of thing. It goes down a dangerous road, and it has to be stopped at all costs. There is a virus here. It kills people, and the only way we prevent it is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time, and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom, because with freedom comes obligations and responsibilities. We cannot just say, I have the right to do X, Y, and Z. When you affect other people, that is when it gets serious. It's like no different than a traffic light. We put a traffic light at the intersection so someone doesn't kill someone else by accident.
Okay, so that was the quick little clip of Arnold Schwarzenegger speaking. While first, a quick little response on what you guys thought. I don't know if you saw this clip. It was clipped out and online pretty regularly this past week. But had you guys seen this, and what were your first thoughts right off the bat?
This was the first time I saw it, and it's weird hearing "screw your freedoms" from a European. Like, didn't we save your ass for freedom?
We also left their ass for freedom.
Yeah,
for the record.
Well, but nothing quite sounds like "screw your freedom" just rolling off the tongue with a nice Austrian accent. It's true. It's just, it just has a certain ring to it. I love how with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he started with the Terminator, like I was talking about earlier, but he never really left the Terminator. It's like, it's one of those things where, like, as an actor, you do the one role and the role changes you in such a way you never really recover from it. It was like Johnny Depp doing Hunter S. Thompson as Raoul, I can't remember what his name is, Fear and Loathing. He never like changes from that for the rest of his film body, He's always just a little bit like a little off, And even when he's he's Jack fucking Sparrow doing, Johnny Depp. And like,
yep.
It's like just becomes that thing. Schwarzenegger, everything has to be terminated. This is the only way that we obliterate. It's like, what do you like the terms he's using? It's like, we have COVID-19 and we need to terminate, fuck your freedom. That virus is killing people. Like, okay. And California, all I had to say is y'all were dumb enough to put that guy in as governor. Terminate the COVID-19 with the mask, with the 12-foot distancing, with the vaccination. Like, okay, all right, we get it. You have Fauci, and then you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger. and neither of which really sound like doctors, but both of them saying the same thing.
G-Dubs, what do you think? Was there is it mildly nerve-wracking when you see a guy with an Austrian accent say "screw your freedom"?
It does, and it reminded me back in like elementary school with the President Physical Fitness Challenge that he was a like chairperson of. Does anyone else remember that?
Well, I mean, I do remember that, and and if you're talking about a man who ever had a hesitancy about putting a needle in his ass, I mean,
Yeah,
let's be honest. He was getting vaccinated after he went to the gym every single time. I mean, at least that's what I thought he was doing.
Yes, testosteronated, which is very close to vaccinated. It's practically the same thing. That being said, I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not endorsing that if you're on 500 mgs of testosterone a week that you don't need the COVID vaccine. I'm just saying that you might have a better chance than everyone else. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. That's why I say that. Go talk to your doctor if you're concerned about your own personal issues. But I thought it's mildly concerning when a guy with an Austrian accent says "screw your freedom," because as the drunk magician that I am, I didn't hear "screw your freedom." I heard him look right in the camera and be like, "Fuck y'all freedom." like in my mind, it transformed it, and he was just like pissed off Terminator. He had the red eyes, and he was just like ready to just blast everybody.
See, you guys are taking it all wrong. You're taking it Terminator level. I'm thinking like Kindergarten Cop. With us because he thinks we're little children.
That's a good point.
What the mask? Wash the hands. Wash the hands constantly. Wash your hands constantly.
We're gonna need to sanitize at least once more. But what I didn't expect to come of this whole story is that one of his sponsors actually dropped him. So yeah, they say sponsor. This is from The Hill. The sponsor dropped Schwarzenegger over rants about anti-maskers, even though I'm not entirely sure he was ranting about anti-maskers. He was saying, part of me understands because I'm a freedom guy naturally. I like liberty. I like the fact that I'm an American and I can kind of do what I want, and everybody else can kind of do what they want, and like we're all cool with that. It makes me nervous when you say "screw your freedom." But I also understand that with freedom comes a sense of responsibility. I just don't think that responsibility should be mandated by somebody that is elected or put in a position of power. But I was very shocked when a bodybuilding sponsor, actually Redcon 1, dropped Arnold Schwarzenegger as a spokesperson over his recent his rant. They say that a spokesperson for the sports supplement company Redcon 1 told The Hill that they chose to discontinue their partnership with a former California governor because of his anti-American comments. Also pulling out Schwarzenegger bodybuilding event next month, which is actually probably a bigger deal than dropping him, is that Redcon's a pretty big company in the bodybuilding supplement, nutrition, whatever space that is. And them pulling out of his show is actually probably a bigger hit than them dropping him as a spokesperson. They said, to be clear, we did not pull out of the event because of the mask issue. We understand the importance of public safety as well as the responsibilities of all event organizers. These are unprecedented times and we're aligned with public safety for all, the spokesperson told The Hill in a comment. Sounds very rational. We elected to discontinue support due to Arnold's comment, "Screw your freedoms." With the global influence Arnold beholds, we find that ideology dangerous and anti-America and community. Which actually kind of surprised me that a company took a stand on that and was like, you know what? We're not cool with the sponsor going on national TV and saying, "Screw your freedom." Thoughts? Is this surprising?
What's funny to me is what I find the most surprising thing about this whole situation is, why does Arnold Schwarzenegger need a sponsor?
I know he's got like brands named after him, and he's got his own supplement line, right? Like
I think he's probably worth $500 million, maybe more. It's one of those things where it's like the idea of sponsor is the fact that you need money to continue whatever it is that you're doing. As a spokesperson, they didn't really drop him as a sponsor. They dropped him as a spokesperson. Like a sponsor's like, you don't have a race car unless we give you money. Arnold Schwarzenegger could do whatever the fuck he wants, and he doesn't need anyone else's financial influence of that situation. You know what I mean? He's a movie star. He was the governor. He married into one of the most politically active families in America. He doesn't need your endorsement or your money. You drop Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's like this company, as big as they are, you say this company's name, most Americans don't know it. You say Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody on the planet knows, you know.
I hear you. Which is crazy to me. G-Dubs, you got a thought on this? Were you surprised?
No, because everyone knows that bodybuilders love your freedom. And like talk about other than muscles is you got to do you freedom, man.
Nothing sounds like freedom than 6 meals a day, and sleeping 10 hours a day, and sticking your ass in the needle with a 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But what surprised me is this fact right here on screen that Arnold has his. This is a different supplement brand that has an Arnold Schwarzenegger series, which made me wonder how many goddamn brands is Arnold sponsored by right now? Because this is Redcon. This is a company that dropped him. That's their official website.
Well, I know I'm never using Redcon.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is mysupplementstore.com. They have an entire Arnold Schwarzenegger series. It's just surprising to me that he got dropped. I did get a message in the before time saying, "Hey, you want a surprise guest?" From a special fan, and I said, "Sure, why not? You guys are cool with that, right?"
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before I send them an invite link. I don't want to upset the crowd.
Sure. My last thought on Arnold Schwarzenegger here is, you know that when he got the phone call and he was being dropped, Arnold Schwarzenegger's like the type of guy who's like, you can't fire me, I quit. You know what I mean? Like, he's the type of guy where you're like, hey, Arnold, Collen over here from Red Fuel One, we're going to have to let you go. He's like, oh, you're going to let me go? No, fuck your brand. Fuck you, screw your brand. I'm leaving. They're like, well, that's what we're saying, Arnold. You're fired.
Oh, welcoming Jason to the program. Jason, welcome on the show, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you for being here, sir. We really appreciate it. GW and I met Jason. Collen, have you met Jason?
I don't believe so. Jason, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Actually, I have met you up in at the Marquee Theater.
Okay.
Oh, no shit. Jason's a guy. Okay.
Way to not remember one person in your past, Collen.
Dick.
Yeah.
But we're going to move right into the next topic. Jason, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. How the drunk is this news? The FDA finally approves a vaccine that 85% of Vermonters have. Holy shit. Things are really going to change up here. That's crazy. But we got this article directly from the FDA.gov, because apparently we're journalists now going direct to the source. The FDA approves first COVID-19 vaccine. Approval signifies key achievement for public health. And here they have this really long ass article. But Pfizer BioNTech is the company that produced the first vaccine to be FDA approved, not just Emergency Use Act approved, which is a very big difference. But they named it Comirnaty. Comirnaty. I don't know. That one right there is how the phonetic is spelt. But basically, it's supposed to be, I had to look it up earlier, how they came up with it. It's an amalgamation of community, mRNA, COVID and something else, and they just slammed it all together in one confusing word called Comirnaty.
You know, people
Comirnaty.
make billions of dollars off of doing that job.
Naming drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would
billions.
imagine.
Well, what we're going with is I'm saying it with an Italian accent here, rounding the vowels a little bit. I'm going Comanati. I'm going Comanati. It's a Comanati. It's community. It's a virus. It's a COVID. It's a vaccine. It's a Comanati.
I want to know if I can get that appetizer next time I'm out.
Yeah.
I would like to order
Comanati. It's a Comanati on the side. That'd be great.
A little extra cheese on top.
Yeah, if we could do the Comanati calamari split dish, I would take that as well.
You add a Comanati. Okay. All right.
But yeah, basically, the FDA came out and said they approved the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, and that it's in. I mean, I'm not really surprised. They do state that they had an EUA before, and that many people are hesitant, which understood. Go talk to your doctor. Deal with that shit on your own. That's not our business. We're just drunk. I'm a drunk magician, 2 comedians, and a super fan on a live stream. Do not take your financial or medical advice here, because we'll get bad. We'll get pretty bad advice.
I got a question though for those of you watching at home. If you want to answer it,
yeah, please comment in.
Please comment in. But this is my question: if you were hung up about getting the vaccine, were you really concerned about getting an FDA seal of approval? Because I mean, it was that was your big hang up, was like, wait a second, this thing that the federal government seems to be pushing, I'm waiting to say we got a hand up. So there are some people, but I'm just following my train of thought here. This thing that the federal government's pushing, I'm waiting for it to be approved by the federal government.
Pretty funny, right? Like,
let's see if we get this thing. But I do understand for legal reasons and ramifications and things like that, there is a difference. But I'm just curious if at home, was that a hang up? And now that it's gotten the approval, do you feel better about it?
I do laugh actually, because earlier today, was this 23rd? 2 days ago, Babylon B, who happens to be my favorite fake news source when I'm looking for the real fake news, 100 million vaccine hesitant Americans will get the shot now that a government agency said it's okay.
What the hell?
Jason, what do you think?
I have a question for you guys.
Please.
Is everyone, you, Hickory, and Collen, have you guys gotten the shot or no?
I have, yeah.
I am vaccinated. Yes, I got the Johnson & Johnson single dose vaccine.
I'll be honest, no. But not because it's been a me being vaccine hesitant thing. It's been that I've been working 50 hours a week and moving. And to be straight up. And
so with my question for Collen is, did you experience anything with the J&J shot?
It was actually funny because I was working and I left work midday. I got it. I went back to work. That night I sweat a little bit, had feverish chills. Next morning I woke up, ran a jackhammer 9 a.m. Which I don't know if the FDA would, tell you they're doing.
You should be doing like,
but I figured I'm sitting there. My arm was a little sore, so I was mostly right arm dominant with the jackhammer.
Why is all Collen's lines lead left? I don't understand. Like, he's going across this driveway. Like,
I'm just gonna pound it like this. When I first got it, immediately I thought, hell, I'll tough it out, And when I first got the shot, it was a few minutes in, was like incredible pain in my arm. Like my arm went dead. Like I just literally couldn't even move my arm. but that only lasted maybe less than 30 seconds or a minute. I was actually shocked at how quickly my arm started feeling better. And I felt my one thing about if anyone is hesitant, I would like to give this piece of advice to the vaccine, is getting the vaccines like doing any drug, right? Once you get it, you just go, well, there's no looking back now.
Well, and that's
if I was confused, that just happened. Now I got to deal with it, you know?
But it's so I guess it's not like Coke, because Collen didn't wake up the next morning like, man, I just spent $250 and I got nothing left.
It was, yeah, exactly.
It's like every drug but Coke.
I went to Windsor to get it, and Windsor, my nurse said to me, you know, now drink plenty of fluids, and that's not beer. I love the fact that, like, in Windsor, they had to specify that it was like the fluids. I know what your fucking hillbilly ass is thinking, and like IPA is not fluids that we want you to drink. All right.
They're like, there was this drunk magician here earlier, just trying to get free syringes. And
he said, "Don't worry." He said, "I'm just drinking Pilsner."
It was like, but it's local, and I just don't have the time, guys. I'm sorry.
Here's my thing with the shot. I won't get it now because it is FDA approved. The first time I did it was because it wasn't FDA approved. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's street drugs.
Now,
Get me high.
I was like, that's not that was the catch, G-Dubs. If they had just packaged the vaccine in a little snortable powder,
Yeah,
you could put on your desk and you know, feel like
Just
you're
left
getting
it
away
on
with something.
toilet seat for him.
That's right.
All you should have waited until they offered like money and stuff, especially in Vermont.
Good Lord, Jason is on topic. We're moving right into the next one with, hey, let's talk about healthcare incentives. Yeah, great segue, Jason. We're going to talk about a jail in Washington State is offering ramen noodles as an incentive to encourage inmates to get the COVID vaccine shots. Because I guess that looks delicious enough to change your mind on a major medical decision. And I just want to say I'm not anti-vax at all. I want to get that out there. I've been a pro-vax guy forever. But when a jail is offering free ramen noodles, doesn't that make people say, okay, what the fuck is going on here? G-Dubs, what'd you think?
I think people should wait for the honey buns.
I agree.
What the hell is Collen doing?
He's looking for a writer.
He hadn't got his 12,000 steps in on his Fitbit yet. So he's getting them done while he's on the show. You know,
I'm getting all worked up.
Yeah, he's getting excited. He's pissed off that he got the vaccine and he didn't get free ramen noodles to go with it.
I didn't
which
get
I understand.
A ramen noodle. I didn't get a Krispy Kreme. I didn't get shit. You know,
You didn't even get entered in a lottery and a chance for anything.
nothing.
I agree.
You know, and it's funny because it used to be the whole, you know, big incentive of getting a vaccine was not dying. But, you know, that's not, that doesn't turn people on anymore. You know,
No.
It's like, I'm not dying. Well, you got anything else for me? How about a Krispy Kreme donut?
Well,
That was
donut.
the difference. It's like one place was $100 incentive, cash incentive. It's like if your hold up on your health was like, I ain't getting that thing, you trying to kill me. It's like, how about $100? Hey, $100, I'll give it a shot.
Like, you know, a quarter of weed would offset the nervousness that I have if I could just go down to that there dispensary, pick me up a couple grams of hash oil.
Oh my God! If it was a quarter of weed, Florida would be completely vaccinated.
So would Vermont. It wouldn't be 85%, bro. It'd be 105%.
Of the U.S. would be vaccinated. Holy shit!
People would be filling out alter names and getting their 4th and 6th and 8th shot.
But you know the guys in the Northeast Kingdom who already have plenty of weed would be like, shit, I'm getting a vaccine too on the 3rd. And they're like, Bill, it's the 6th.
Yeah, I guess I got
shit.
it. I don't know.
Shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to reschedule.
Were there any ramen noodles left?
Yeah.
Like, what a weird incentive. So a jail in Washington State's offering ramen noodles as an incentive to inmates who get the first vaccine dose. Benton County Jail corrections officer stated Soups for Shots program earlier this month, the Olympian reported, which I have to say, you pretty much have to be in prison to refer to ramen as a soup, right? Like, that's not like a thing that normal people do.
No.
Ketchup's a vegetable.
GW, do you refer to ramen as noodles?
Yeah.
Or soup?
I always drain the liquid out.
Me too, dude.
As noodles.
Me too. You can't make ghetto mac if you got a bunch of water in there.
Right, exactly.
This is going to fuck up the consistency of your store brand American cheese.
What I don't understand is why wouldn't the prison offer ice cream?
Or like, I don't know, $100 on your commissary card because it would cost them nothing. And it would be such a huge benefit that like every prisoner would be like, well, could sign me up. You know, like why would they go that extra?
Sure, guys. If guys wanted like a conjugal visit, they would get the shot immediately.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this: what's worse for you, the vaccine or ramen noodles?
Now, I got to say, so I was homeless for a month. And even though I was living in a swanky hotel and going to weddings and parties and having a grand old time and drinking very expensive double IPAs, I had to eat ramen.
On ramen.
Dude, I had to eat ramen. It was like one of those things where it was like I started itching and I was like, I'm homeless, man.
But you're talking to an actor over here.
That's true. I forget about that. the side of actor life that nobody likes to admit.
Yeah,
the ramen noodle side.
Ate his body weight in ramen noodles.
They say each participant could get 10 free ramen noodle soups.
So that's like $4.50 right there.
Yeah, dude, that's big, bro. Yeah, they're offering ramen. That's pretty much all the article says. Since corrections officer started the program at the beginning of August, 900 ramen noodle soup packets been distributed to 90 inmates, which doesn't seem like a very high number. Beginning of August. Okay, we're like 25 days in. 23 days in. Okay, that's not bad. They've done okay. Research shows that prisoners were more likely to contract the coronavirus behind bars. Which raises the question, shouldn't prison be a little bit scary? I mean,
It's scary.
Isn't that the point?
Don't drop the soap, bitches.
Yeah, like, shouldn't you have an incentive not to go?
See, this sounds like an incentive to go. I get free food and shots.
Nick said, I drain mine and add tuna.
Nick. That's awesome.
Well, the weird thing is like, for those of you who follow sort of the way Vermont's been going, with sort of the revolving door of people, oftentimes hardened criminals, especially in the Burlington area, they couldn't hold them because they were afraid that they might catch COVID. And they would assault people, and then they would say, but if we bring them in and we hold them, they might catch COVID. Yeah. Again, maybe think about that before you start assaulting people on the fucking streets. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, like if you assault someone and then you end up in a fucking detainment and you end up getting fucking COVID, guess what? We'll give you the vaccine, FDA approved, like we're about to give everybody in the fucking military and everything else. That thing. There ended up being a whole thing where they released a lot of prisoners and this whole thing over the COVID. And I'm not a pro-prison person at all. I hate the prison complex in America. I think it's horrible. I think it's one of the biggest problems we have. At the same time, it's ridiculous to have something like this happen, and then all of a sudden, the rules are changed, and people are allowed to fucking leave prison that really shouldn't be leaving prison because they're saying, oh, if they're in here, they're going to get COVID. Get COVID. I don't fucking know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, it's why the rules change all of a sudden for certain individuals that really, if they're a public threat and things like that, it doesn't make any sense.
Wow, way to be a bummer, Colin.
There's a
Well,
punchline
I'll
in there
lighten up the
somewhere.
mood, go.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's
Oh
the
yeah.
first thing. One, I can't have ramen noodles, so that's out. Two, have any of you actually been in a jail?
What do you mean by in a jail?
Yes.
One time in college for money, I was on a set that looked like it. Does that count?
No.
No.
I mean, like, actually
Oh,
in
no.
jail,
I've been
in
to
a
visit.
cell.
I've been to visit. I've seen my cousin, and I watched a lot of 90 Days In or 60 Days In or whatever the fuck that show is called. But
That shit don't
yeah.
count either.
Hey, man, I was. But what if I was really high when I watched it and I felt like I was in there? You know?
Okay,
the
that's okay.
The last time Constable Collen was in a cell, it was a big misunderstanding. It was a big fucking misunderstanding. But I did have handcuffs on, and I was put into a cell in which the last thing that the guard said as he was locking it was, "Welcome to Club Med." And I don't know if anyone knows what Club Med is, but Club Med's like a beach resort with sandy beaches and some type of cabana bar. This prison cell didn't resemble Club Med at all.
It might have resembled Club Fed. To which I would never apply.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I meant Club Fed. I'm sorry.
Foley, how about you, man?
I'm gonna say I to correct the story, to be fully transparent in everything I try to do on this here platform, is that I have been in a holding cell because I got arrested one time, but I did not get detained. I just got arrested and released.
You can't be a drunk magician if you haven't spent at least one night in the drunk tank. Right?
No, dude, you got to throw up on another magician's shoes at least once before you're allowed to call yourself a magician.
This is kind of my Folson fucking magic set over here.
I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be the Johnny Cash of magic.
Yeah.
Here's my Folsom County rope trick right here.
I was gonna say I wasn't charged with anything, but I was in a holding cell.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that because it sounds more mysterious than the actual story.
And Hickory's like, and I'm goddamn lucky I didn't get COVID-19.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, back in 2011, it was a hard time to not get COVID-19.
hard times, daddy.
But, you know, it kind of reminds me of like the guy who tries to break into the person's house and falls through the skylight onto the butcher block and cuts himself and then sues the homeowner. You know what I mean?
I say there's a great viral video this past week that we won't be airing on the show due to the stream getting pulled down. But apparently 4 armed guys tried to break into an armed guy's house in Arizona. You guys should look up the video and just check it out if you haven't seen it. But if you want to see 4 grown men shit their pants and run real fast, it's a really fun video to watch. Nick said there was a police shooting in Rutland today. Must be the guy had COVID. Lol. I agree. I didn't know if I wanted to bring that up.
The one thing I will say is that, you know, this is something you're not going to hear from Fauci or the CDC. But, you know, yes, when it comes to transmitting COVID, a mask is effective. A vaccine is effective. But if you're dead, I mean, you're not transmitting that to anybody.
That's a good point.
Actually, that's not true.
Thank you, GW, for bringing that up.
Because you can still transmit fluids after you're dead.
Yes. Yes, you
Oh,
can.
You know, like I said, anybody, like as aforementioned before, please do not seek your medical advice from Hickory. I am neither a doctor.
Colin.
I am neither a doctor nor a scholar. But Hickory is a drunk magician, so we have that going for us.
I'm very good at getting drunk and performing magic. Sometimes at the same time, sometimes not. I'm also very good at having a very defined widow's peak, which no barber has found the cure for, which must mean something important.
I like
that
what
means that they can
doing
just shave it right
It
now.
points right down to my third eye, which I think
What
means something.
Hickory says when he goes in is he just goes into the barbershop and he says, "Have you seen the Munsters?" Could you do that?
I'm not gonna lie. Does anybody else love the fact that Fallout Boy sampled that and that the intro for the Munsters was on the radio for like 3 months, like a year and a half ago?
And there was
He
a
kind of
group of
looks like
kids that
Uncle
had no.
Fester from the Addams Family show.
Who?
Addams Family. Uncle
Which one?
Fester.
I
Uncle
look like
Fester.
I guess I could.
I would go with Gomez for the Addams family.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment and say that I look like Christopher Lloyd, which should be pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been complimented.
Like an overgrown Pugsley Adams.
Normally they're like, you look like Jonah Hill when he was still fat before he started taking steroids. And I'm like, the joke's on me because I've been taking steroids for years and I still don't look like Jonah Hill looks like right now. This is horseshit. We're gonna move into the next one.
For those of you at home and they're wondering, that's correct. Hickory is not opposed to taking a shot in the ass.
Nope.
You know, I tried with the Johnson & Johnson. I said, listen, I got to use both of my arms tomorrow. I got a jackhammer. Could you just give me that in the ass?
I tried having them give it to me in the dick.
Did you just mainline this right in there?
Yeah.
That top squiggly one. The one that
Maybe-
runs along.
Maybe in between the toes.
I just want it to feel like an 8 shot. Please. Just...
GW is holding his balls like, do you need a good vein? The guy's like, no, just in your arms, fine, sir.
I heard you needed some muscle.
Please just give me a shot in the balls.
Or how about the taint?
Oh.
Oh my God.
Okay, we got 2 more subjects. We're about an hour. We're gonna run a little over. We'll get through these quick though. So the second to last subject is WCAX is now reporting what MTV warned us about a year ago. I don't know if you guys saw this, but fortunately, my beautiful assistant saw this like a week ago. Or actually, like she got this message like 2 weeks ago, then saw the WCAX article. And was like, "Hey, you need to talk about this. I got this message." So what was happening in Rutland was this: law enforcement warns a suspicious text asking to meet in person. They say, "Hey, are you Ibram? I'm Bridget. We met on Plenty of Fish before when I went down to see my cousin, but we never met in real life. I'm back in town for a while. If you want to truly meet up this time, are you available?" And the response said no. To which the beautiful assistant said, "Wrong fucking number." They went on to say, "Oh no, that's not troubling, haha. I think he slipped me the wrong number, haha. I chose to think he typed it incorrectly. Anyway, you know my name and how I look. What's yours?" And then a couple pictures of this blonde chick who looks like she probably performed stand-up. And by that I mean she's got the eyes, you know. She's like, she's like, "Cool to meet you. It's so funny. You sound like someone nice. You're not a crazy person, are you? LMAO." So the beautiful assistant's text basically got a layout text like that and a photo, and then she said, "Wrong fucking number," because this was like at like 11 something at night on a school night, or a work night.
School night.
I guess so. Yeah, whatever, same thing. And to which they responded to send the photos and then be like, "Oh my God, you sound so cool. Like maybe we should get to meet. You're not a stalker, are you?" To which the beautiful assistant said, "Yeah, I'm blocking this number because it's a troll." But WCAX parsed this article and said, "Hey, watch out for this chick." To which I ask, Collen, when you tried to pick her up yet?
Well, I gotta say, you guys were much more strict with her than I was. Unfortunately, I got to the KFC. She never showed up. I I was there with my social security number
And my bank pin.
and my bank pin.
Written on a piece of paper, just in case I forgot.
And yeah. And, much to my chagrin, she never showed. So, I would say, yeah, be wary of this girl. And I'm sorry, just because I'm a little slow. Did this happen to the beautiful assistant?
Yeah, dude, she got this text like a week and a half before this article came out. This article was posted August 19th. So like 2 weeks ago, she got the text from this person with this girl's photos, which makes me wonder, has anybody Google image search these?
Well, I was going to say, why don't we, you can do a reverse Google search of that image and see what comes up. GW, boots on ground. Who is this bish? And how worried should I be?
Well, here's a fun story. I got this text message also. And,
okay.
Yeah, and we actually met up. I'm going to be leaving my wife. She's a fantastic person.
Did she text you and ask you for 3 shows tickets to the comedy show?
She did. So, but I have a feeling that things are going to be real for us, and she's having some hard times, but that
nothing your money can't fix.
Exactly. A couple cashier's checks, and we're going to be good. We're going to start a life together in Mexico.
Do you have to pay her in gift cards? That I guess that was my only real question.
Actually.
Oh,
and
Bitcoin.
Pesos.
And what, Jason?
Pesos.
Definitely not pesos. Gift cards, yes. A lot of Target gift cards. And
hey, dude, she's the looker. I don't blame you. I'm glad you finally found love. I mean, second love or third love or whatever.
I'm surprised, guys. I haven't gotten that in my text or anything.
I was going to ask if you had.
Like a Blaze has. Send it all to him.
And so he's probably hit that already, right? Like I'm just saying, I'm not.
He does have more than one baby mama, so
I think we could say more than 4 and be safe, right?
Definitely more than 4.
I don't know, I know Mecca enough to have him on the show, but we're not he's not sleeping on my couch or anything.
Mecca?
I will bone to pick
Mecca's got 10 kids.
Out.
10 with but how many babies, mamas? That was the question.
He never makes the same mistake twice.
Oh, okay. So it's 9+. Winning. # winning, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Mecca's line. Before you ask me anything stupid, I don't make the same mistake more than once.
And the Lord said, go forward and spread your seed. To which Mecca said, Amen.
Amen.
I don't know if he's religious, but I feel like
now, gentlemen, we have 4 relatively brilliant minds here. We need to crack this case, okay? Let's break down the messages. What does this mean? What's she saying? Do you want to meet up? Where? Do we have a place? What's the motive here?
So they were in the article commenting about how this is actually like a human trafficking ring thing, and
perfect.
But that it was trafficking related, and sorry, I pulled down the text, but yeah, they were saying that law enforcement special text asking me person. Bailey Ferguson says she responded because it was the polite thing to do, because that's the reason to respond to random text messages. She told her boyfriend, I felt sick to my stomach after I received the screenshot from the sheriff's office. I have no clue how they would have got my number either. I don't know. I assume they were just messaging random numbers. But the headline is Butler County, Alabama. Law enforcement is warning the public about suspicious texts that could lead to a potential sex trafficking scheme. So that's I assume that's the assumed end goal is to
Wouldn't
is
you
to
be targeting dudes?
in a sex trafficking scheme.
Well, with that type of text and the blonde.
One would think, but I don't know. Maybe these are just really dumb traffickers. You
And
know,
dumb
like
people to respond to it.
Sounds like it. Holy shit. Sign
Like-
me up.
Now,
because it
Now,
sounds
what
like
I want-
mostly women got these text messages anyways.
I mean, I'm assuming these are some pretty dumb traffickers in the fact that did they realize it would be easier for them to go steal cocaine out of Pablo Escobar's fucking personal chateau than it would be take the beautiful assistant out of her home?
Take a random person.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering what the thought process is here.
To which I want to speak directly to the audience here. If you were
Yes.
the person that took my Facebook page, expect a visit in the middle of the night. That will not be pleasant.
With a hook.
Yes. Made of steel. That you can with a handle, wooden handle that fits between the
Very good.
fingers that a butcher used to use to pick up a polk cow. Yeah, you can expect that hook. I don't mean to
Kinky.
Andrew Cuomo this situation, but if you were the guy that hacked my Facebook page and took the Hickory Drunk and Underwhelming profile, first off, fuck you. And secondly, if I find out who you are, I'm probably going to break all your fingers. But, that wasn't a threat. That was just a joke. So
Hypothetically speaking.
yes, like, if we were to meet in person and I was just to show up outside of your bedroom while you were sleeping and you were there asleep and very hypothetically, yeah, Jason, right? With the quotes, like, if I had a crowbar in my hands and a rifle on my back,
I'd like to say that you do not have a mask, and you're not 6 feet, and you're not vaccinated. Okay, you're gonna get terminated. Okay.
I just want to say
Yeah,
I bought
pick you up. Yeah.
I bought an 8-foot stick to hit them with just for the situation, so I can stay 6 feet away and still make decent contact.
Exactly. Hickory accounted for the fingers, the arm space.
That's right. I did a
Fauci
lot
would
of
be proud.
I did a
Fauci
lot
would
of
be proud.
math to figure this one out. We're gonna move to the laugh subject. Laugh subject. I guess it is a laugh subject, but it is also
It's
the
a
laugh
laugh
subject of the show. We're gonna move in the meme of the week. Pardoning the witches. Yeah, that's a thing. So apparently a Salem witch to be pardoned thanks to U.S. teens. This was one day ago from AFP, also by MSN. Say a woman convicted of witchcraft during the 17th century Salem trials is expected to be pardoned thanks to a campaigning group of U.S. school children. Guys, what do you think? You think this is the pardon that we all need right now, or do you?
Well, this is what I would say to these children in school. These as a witch, I would say that you have to realize a pardon is an omission of guilt. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
If that's
So
true,
by this dead person accepting her pardon, that is to say that she is guilty of what she was accused of doing,
She's a witch.
which was being a witch. Yes. So wonderful job, children. Thank you for this admission of guilt to this person who already, I'm assuming, was burned at a stake.
I think she was drowned.
Yeah, I think she was drowned.
Drowned. Yes, that was the other good one. The burning of the stake, the drowning. The other one was they built a massive catapult and they'd launch the alleged witch into the lake. If you were a witch, you would fly. If you were not, you would splatter on the ice. Surprisingly, all of them splattered.
Yeah, they also used to throw them out with like a brick tied to them, and if they floated, they were witches and they burned them, and if they sank, they were humans and they drowned.
Surprisingly enough, with that experiment, they all drowned.
They say Elizabeth Johnson Jr. was sentenced to I forgot to add it back. Was sentenced to death in 1693 as mass hysteria about witches swept colonial Massachusetts. Them fucking witches. She was granted a reprieve and died in her late 70s and 1740s, but unlike other convicted witches, has never been exonerated. When 8th graders at North Andover Middle School near Salem learned about her plight during civics class, they decided to take action. They did extensive research studying primary sources to understand that Johnson was targeted because she was unmarried and possibly mentally disabled. This story doesn't get any better. Part of our indoctrination to the civics class overall is based on the idea of identity, values, stereotypes, and civil discourse. Teacher Carrie LaPierre told AFP, which I will now be reading as Pierre, because I'd like to think Pierre Vachon was teaching this class. So, looking at the situation, I'm a drunk magician. I'll distort reality all the fuck I want, okay? So, looking at the situation regarding Johnson from the lens helps students develop perspective and empathy for her case, she said. 13 and 14-year-olds couldn't understand how Johnson was overlooked for a pardon. She had no immediate descendants looking for it. They began writing letters to local representatives and helped State Senator Diana DiZiaglio draft a bill that would clear Johnson's name. DiZiaglio recently introduced the legislation, which isn't expected to face any opposition. We got a nonpartisan bill here, guys. We're going to exonerate the witches.
Not if I have anything to say with it.
We can all come together.
I want to know how much pork is in that bill. Like, what else is exactly pass in there?
Yeah, here comes a new highway, and yeah,
they're probably going to take my wand away too. That's
what's crazy is they've literally figured out a way of hiring someone from the Ministry of Defense to come down and do the pardon. I mean, in what fucking Harry Potter world did this woman come from? She's like, I'm sorry, Professor McGonagall couldn't be here this evening, but I'm here to do the pardon. I flew all the way here from Hogwarts. Can we see the picture again, Hickory, just for reference?
Oh yeah, that's just
here she is. Here's Professor McGonagall doing the pardon.
I wish I could zoom that. I don't know how. Anyways, whoops. They basically said that more than 150 people, mostly women, including Johnson's mother, were accused of witchcraft between 1692 and 1693 as Massachusetts was gripped by fear, paranoia, and superstition. So not much has changed. 30, including Johnson, were found guilty, 19 of whom were hanged. Massachusetts formally exonerated the other 29, according to DiZiaglio, which is very important to say that the state of Massachusetts doesn't think witches are real.
Except for those other 19. Those were real witches. Right?
It is simply time to finish the job and clear the name of Elizabeth Johnson Jr. The students are receiving updates as the bill moves through legislature and enjoying the press coverage they're getting, including in the New York Times. In the light of present-day events that have consumed the attention most over this past year, this project may seem insignificant, but the kids' efforts righted a long-standing wrong, and I want them to be proud of that, said Pierre Vachon while he was teaching his class.
Absolutely. I mean, this is really a huge victory for someone who died 330 years ago.
I'm sure she is pretty excited right now.
Absolutely. I mean, this might be over 300 years in the making, but you know what? It was wrong the way that they killed all of those witches like that. And none of us realized that. None of us really ever stopped to think, geez, the Salem witch trials were a little fucked up. You know?
The real question is, what if they just did a whole bunch of wrong and she actually was a witch? You know like what if there's the actual one and they finally exonerate her and they all come back?
Well, what would be even more fucked up is what if they got her name wrong?
And she had actually been exonerated already, and there was some other poor witch just stuck in purgatory. Like,
yeah, and they're sitting there, and then she's going, "But it's my name! It's my name!" That's a little Crucible reference, Arthur Miller.
She's gonna come back and put a hex on Collen.
maybe
As long
maybe
as it's
she
not
already
a hex
has
on the
it.
show, we're good.
Maybe she has.
I've been hexed
But you
on.
know what?
I've had a voodoo doll made out of me.
Did they have your hair in it? You gotta
Yeah.
stop being so reckless with your hair, Jason.
Yeah. How did they get your hair?
It might be
dude?
time to shave, bro.
No, I actually shaved like a couple of weeks ago, but no, that's a different time and show, guys.
Jason's beard is in fucking God mode. And mine is in veteran difficulty. Struggling over here. As it hasn't been shaved for a month, and the beautiful assistant's complaining, and then I threw on this nice beautiful light, and I might as well have just been clean shaven. It's silly.
Oh, Jason, if it makes you feel any better.
Here's a clarification for you guys. You guys can shave with a razor. I can't.
Oh, why can't you?
You got to use like wax?
No, like a electric razor because I'm on EloQuest.
They just shake their head like they knew what the fuck you were talking about, Jason. No,
what I was going to say, Jason, if it makes you feel any better, it's worth noting Pugsley Adam never had a voodoo doll made out of his hair.
Okay, Collen. Just wait until Saturday if I can make it down to Saturday. Yep.
Speaking of which, Saturday.
That was a callback to Hickory saying shave your head.
That's right.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of which, Saturday the 28th, live at the Woolen Comic Club.
Yes.
Colin?
I guess it's that time of the show.
I should have pulled up the list and just read it off, but to be honest,
I didn't
know. Dude, I'm a very bad host, especially this past 5 weeks. I apologize. The homeless and underwhelming has been a full nother experience. Next week we'll be back to kind of normal. There'll be some shit on the wall behind me, and I'll perform a card trick. It'll be great. I promise.
But we're in season 2. We're in season 2.
Even more drunk and underwhelming than season 1.
More drunking. More underwhelming.
More underwhelming.
But this Saturday night, Woolen Comedy Club, we got a great show. We have Dan Lamonte from New York City. He's on tour. He's going to be headlining the show. We have Pierre Vachon's going to be making his debut performance at long last at the Woolen Mill.
She will be back many times this fall.
Chad Blodgett's going to make his return to the stage. Excuse me, after a long quarantine hiatus. And am not able
Chad
to officially.
Blodgett's going to be there this weekend?
He is. Yep.
Oh my God! I couldn't make it this weekend, but he killed it up in Barrie this past Saturday. He was hilarious. My friends up north, they lost their shit.
Well, get him on the show because I tried him about a year ago. He wasn't into it, so I would love to see Chad.
Who don't know, Chad is a regular at the Woolen Mill. He's performed at the club many times over the years, and hilarious dude, and great to have him back at the club. But yeah, I know that he did take some time off during quarantine and stuff like that, so it's really exciting to see him back and doing his thing. And great to hear, Jason, that he did great in Middlebury.
Not in Middlebury. He was up in Barrie. He did a show with Mecha Blaze.
I was going to say he was at the strip club that closed, but they reopened it, and Chad whipped his titties out, and they packed the house.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. I'm just spreading fake news at this point. It's past an hour 20 in the show. I can say whatever I want.
Actually, no, they had a pretty good show.
That was awesome. I'm glad there's good shows going on.
We're working on actually bringing some live music back to the club, and hopefully this weekend, if everything comes together, we're going to have live music as well as comedy.
Nice. Awesome. Any plugs you want to throw out, Jason, before we get on out of here, sir? I would like to thank you for joining us. Thank you for hopping in as a supplemental guest. We really appreciate it.
I tried to find your video from last week, but I couldn't find it anywhere online.
Which one?
For last Wednesday's episode, because I couldn't find it anywhere.
Let me check. It might be on my I was gonna say, if you can't find it on Facebook, so here's the deal. I want to give a quick update. I think I was hacked on Facebook. I'm not entirely sure. But I have been unadmin on the Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming Facebook page. So I can't access it. I have like 4 emails into Facebook right now saying, hey, this is my page. And if you don't let me have it back, I'm just going to have it mass reported for vulgarity until it's taken down.
Okay, because I normally try and catch it when I can't watch, because last Wednesday I couldn't watch it because I was watching someone shove his hand up his puppet's ass at the Rutland Fair last Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that show. That was pretty good, I heard.
Hashtag Jeff Dunham.
Yeah. Did he do the Biden puppet, by the way? I wanted to know about that.
Oh my God, yes, he did.
Okay. And his Biden puppet's hilarious. It's so good. He's so good at it. It's phenomenal.
I was like, I've been telling not me, but my father, he's like, Walter looks like fucking Biden. And sure enough, last Wednesday, there's Walter in a fucking outfit looking like Biden. And I'm like, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he did some episodes that were like Trump versus Biden. He actually did them like during the debates and stuff. It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
he made another Walter that was Biden.
Debut a new puppet, even though I saw it online.
Yep.
But I don't like his new puppet because he is writing the jokes on a piece of paper, and his name is Earl, but Earl is spot on for the millennials of the world.
Oh, okay.
Always on their phone, living in a basement.
I'm excited to see what you guys say about that.
I actually live in a room in my parents' house.
Last week's episode is still up on YouTube, FYI. If you can't find it on Facebook, it should be on the Woolen Comedy Club, and it should be on my page.
Either there.
Okay. Then it should be on the Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming YouTube, because that's kind of like our backup option.
Okay.
And also where I post like reviews and gameplay and reaction videos.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the backup location for that. Yeah. So it should be there. So yeah, the Drunk and Underwhelming Facebook page hopefully will be back in my control in the next week. If not, we got to brigade it and start a new one.
In response to something that you had said a couple weeks ago about Ben and Jerry's, did you guys know they actually have a freaking show on Food Network there's like a bunch of bakers trying to make.
I saw that a while ago and it was boring as hell. It was like one of the most boring cooking competition shows I've seen in a while.
And I was like, this is actually I'd rather watch that than Amy Schumer's learning how to cook.
I was gonna say, if you want to know how you come up with good Ben and Jerry's flavors, it looks like this. Hold on. Okay, man. I got an idea, man. So we're gonna name this thing after fish, right? We're gonna call it fish food, right? We're gonna put little chocolate fishes in it, man, and we're gonna put like a marshmallow swirl and some gummy bear. Wait, no, gummy bears are too much. Oh, they
damn it, man! That's what I just came up with. But I was going to call it Cherry Garcia.
Flavor was actually pretty good.
No, I agree. Fish food was a decent flavor, but no, other recent stuff's just pissed me off, dude. Like the fact that they're pimping Colin Kaepernick and Jimmy Fallon is just like, fuck you. Like, promote somebody from Vermont if you're going to pretend to be like a woke socialist bullshit Vermont company. You know,
yeah.
Like at least throw a bone back to the dudes that like live in the state that you guys came up from. If you're going to pretend to like give a fuck about anybody back home, you know what I mean? If you're going to pretend to give a shit about your local community, maybe like promote your local community and
Well,
not
I mean,
some
you
big
gotta
mega
say,
fucking
we
NFL
all
play.
hate
the Baton
Delta Reggie
Rouge
Britton.
pecan pie was pretty good.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a drunk
They
magician.
said
who's
Baton
too
Rouge
opinionated.
pecan pie from a Vermont ice cream company,
But anyways, that's pretty much all we got for this one. Colin, G-Dubs, Jason, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys. We went a little over. I apologize. Thank you guys for joining. I, of course, Maker the Drunk Underwhelming, signing out for GW Foley, Colin Doyle, and Jason. Jason, thank you for joining us as a guest for my first episode at the new studio. There will be magic next week. I'm promising that, but promises, it's like a politician at this point. It's it is what it is, and if it happens, it happens. No, I will perform a fucking card trick next week.
If it doesn't happen, send it all hate mail to ReggieBritton.com.
We need to have Jason on just to do that plug every week. We might have to record that, Jason, just so I have it on the backlog. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Drunken Under Quarantine Show, Season 2, Episode 17, featuring just us hosts. Next week, I'm not sure who's on. Hopefully, we get a rebook. I've been kind of
Jason's like, fuck you.
Jason's like, I'm on next week if you don't got anybody planned. Well, we do have to have Nick on at some point. Nick, if you're out there, cheers. Hit me up. We're going to have you on another Superfan episode. But that's all I got. I, of course, am Maker the Drunk Underwhelming, signing out for GW Follow, Colin Doyle, and Jason Mercier. Thank you guys for joining us. We are, of course, the Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Drunken Under Quarantine Show. Produced by the Wilma Comic Club. We will see you guys in the next episode, reminding you all to stay safe, stay drunk, stay underwhelming, most importantly in these trying times. Stay fucking safe and try not to kill your neighbor because, that could happen soon. We'll see you next week. Cheers.
Bitches, it's sticky.
And so I didn't get a chance to take my pants off.